now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, a darker shade of black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Some guys say they want a goth girlfriend until they actually get one. And when they're in the relationship with a woman who is a part of the goth scene, that's when they want that woman to change. Now, these kind of guys, they basically are not looking to have a relationship with a real person. No, what they want to do is get involved with someone who they believe will be a fantasy that they can fit into their rose-colored reality. And when that person is in their rose-colored world, they can be the fantasy that they want. However, when that person needs to be out here in the real world with their family and friends, that's when these individuals want that woman to change into somebody different. And that's where these guys just show how dishonest they are, because they're asking a woman who is living an alternative lifestyle to make a complete change to one that fits them. And that's not the way it goes when it comes to relationships. Now, when it comes to relationships, yes, there is give and take in relationships. However, a man needs to respect a woman when he gets involved with her. And part of respecting a woman when you get involved with her is understanding that she is as is. Now, the as is philosophy I have is accepting that people are who they are when I first meet them. And when I first meet someone, I need to accept them as they are. And accepting someone as they are means that I'm taking this person as I see them right now, as related to not only their aesthetic look, but I'm also accepting their values and character. And if I get involved with this person, I need to accept this is who they are. And I have no right to ask this person to make any changes to who they are, because if I want to have a relationship with that person, I need to accept who they are and accept everything about who they are, from the positives of who they are to all of the character flaws and issues that they have. Because I have no right to ask someone to go out here and change who they are into something different, because to ask somebody to change themselves into something that they're not, that's being, as I see it, being extremely dishonest, because you knew who this person was when you first met them. And what I see with some guys out here when they get involved with girls who are a part of the goth subculture and women who are a part of the goth subculture is that they want the woman to be goth when it's convenient for them, and when it's not convenient for them, they want them to try to change into somebody else who will fit into their smooth world. And that's, again, being dishonest, because you got involved with this woman when you first met her, knew that she was a part of the goth scene, and now you want this woman to change into someone normal and quote-unquote traditional. And if you wanted somebody who was quote-unquote normal and traditional, then you should have picked that kind of person, not asked this woman to go out here and change into somebody else. Because there are some guys out there who they'll get involved with a girl or a woman in the goth scene, and what they will do is when they want to bring that girl around their parents or bring that woman around their parents or their friends, they'll start asking the woman to tone it down or to wear colors or to go out here and change her clothes and her makeup into something different. And that's something that a guy who he just really does not respect a woman goes out here and does, because this woman was who she was when you met her, and you're asking her to change into something else so that she can be in the home with your parents or be out here with your friends. And that's not the way a man goes out here and operates, because a man of character understands if this woman is a reflection of him, then he's going to accept who she is, because this is part of who he is, because his girlfriend or his wife is who she is, and he respects who she is when he gets involved with her, and he is proud to have that woman on his arm as she is when she's with him. That's the way a man operates when he's out here with a woman. He understands that this is the woman he chose based on the content of her character. He did not choose her based on her looks and her aesthetic, and he doesn't look to try to change her look and her aesthetic in order to make her fit into his world. That's just one of the worst things I've seen with some guys out here. They want to change women from the goth scene into something else, and they believe that they have a right to demand that this woman change to be something that they want and fit into their world. And that's not how it goes when it comes to relationships. No, when it comes to relationships, yes, there is give and take, as related to maybe a guy wanting a woman to dress up for an event that he's going to, but he's going to understand that she has a right to dress the way that she wants, and that way, and because she understands that, she's going to respect him to dress in the way that she wants, but she's not going to change her style and herself, because to change your style and yourself means to completely change who you are. And there are some guys out there, and what they want to do when they get involved with women in the goth scene is they want to go out here and break a woman down, and part of breaking that woman down is making her change who she is into somebody else. And they believe that if they break this woman down, they can rebuild this woman. And it takes a lot of audacity to even think you could go out here and do something like that, because who is this guy to say that he's going to transform a woman into somebody else? Now, this is the kind of mindset that some of these quote-unquote nice guys have as related to girls and women in the goth scene. They believe that they need to go out here and change this woman into somebody else in an effort to quote-unquote fix her. Because when it comes to the quote-unquote nice guy, he thinks he can fix this woman to make her into something better. But who is this man to believe that he has a right to change anyone into something that they're not? I mean, again, women are as is, and if a woman is who she is when you meet her, you need to accept everything about her when you meet her. And if this is who she is, then you need to accept the person standing right in front of you. Because if you want a relationship with a woman or a girl, then you have to accept that this is who they are. You have to accept this person has a right to be who they are, and you have no right to change them. And if they are not compatible with you, what you do is charge them to the game. Because you got some guys out here who, when you ask them, do you want to change for a woman, they'll say no. Well, that's how you need to see it for the woman who's a part of the goth scene. Why should she change to be a part of your world if you're not willing to make any changes at all? Again, this is not how a healthy relationship works, because yes, there, again, I will repeat it once more, there is give and take for relationships, but a healthy relationship is one where both partners respect each other, respect that they are living different lives and are looking to share each part of their lives with each other. That is all part of a healthy relationship between a man and a woman, that they're willing to accept that this person is living a different lifestyle and respect their lifestyle, respect their values, and respect their way of life, because it's the values and way of life that this person has as they're living this alternative lifestyle are the things that you're supposed to have in common with someone. You're not just supposed to get out here and be with someone based on their looks, because that's a very shallow relationship that will go nowhere as you try to get closer to that person. Now, when I see a lot of videos out here sometimes, and people talk about how the women get treated in the goth scene, how you run into these kinds of guys, and these kind of guys are not healthy guys. No, these are dysfunctional males, and they want to go out here and they want to have a woman be a part of their fantasy. They don't want to be a part of a healthy relationship with a real person who is living a real life. No, they want to live in a fantasy world, and it's time. And the only way you can deal with these kind of guys is to shatter their fantasies by showing them that you're a real person who lives a real life, and you want a real partner who wants to share a real life with you. I mean, that's the only way you can deal with these kinds of guys. I mean, some people call them tourists, others call them guys who have a goth fetish, but they have no right to change any woman to fit into their fantasies, whether they be fantasies that are of a sexual nature or fantasies about having a relationship with someone strange and unusual. They don't want to see the humanity of a person who is alternative, and they don't want to see the real person who is out here or get to know a real person. No, they want to live in a fantasy, and you have to show them the reality of being in a relationship with you is going to be real. And this is the only way you can deal with this guy, because he has no right to ask anybody to change, and nobody has a right to ask someone to change into something that they're not, when they're not willing to make changes to themselves as related to their own dishonest character. Now, if you want to see me make more goth videos, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up the 3 goth fiction books I have written, the Spinsterella trilogy, Spellbound, The Legendary Mad Matilda, and Spinsterella, you can pick up those books featuring a black goth heroine on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find the Spinsterella trilogy and other books featuring goth characters like the John Haynes series and other books like Isis Legacy on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find these books at other online booksellers like Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-reader from the author of Spinsterella, A Strange and Unusual Romance, and Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black comes The Legendary Mad Matilda, and you get the conclusions of the Spinsterella trilogy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.